Hi everyone, it's Terry here sharing a process video for Peartree Cutfiles. Today I'm using the spring cut file from the latest release and also the Build an Easter Wreath from the older release. So I've cut it out of white cardstock and my plan is to use this larger photo and cut that out in a P shape and so that it backs behind the P of the spring cut file. So I'm just drawing around it on the back of the photo and then just trimming it into the right shape. So I'm just leaving a slight border so it's got something to adhere to. And I'm just using a basic wet glue for this, just not putting too much on there. So I've pulled out different colour distress oxides that I want to use to build up colour on the inside letters of the word spring, and I'm going to use a different colour for each letter, and they coordinate with the Echo Park Welcome Spring collection that I'm using for this layout. So I'm just creating a bit of an ombre effect with it being darker at the top, going like fading lighter into kind of the white at the bottom. So I'm just using like some like craft brushes just to kind of build it up there. Apologies for my plastered fingers. They're I've got dressings on. I burnt myself, so I had to cover them because they'd cracked. So now I'm on to making my layout, and I want to use this bright red patterned paper and also this little one with the umbrellas, but it's not a rainy kind of picture. It's photos of snowdrops, so it's very spring-like, but I wanted to incorporate that patterned paper in with it. So what I'm going to do is create kind of a bit of an offset layout. So I'm just going to layer up these pieces on top of that L-shaped piece of white card that I've got. And I'm going to do it at a bit of an angle and then add that red on top. I'm just going to add a couple of ripped areas to each side just to add a bit of a different texture to the layout. And once I've done that, I'm just going to trim the excess of that umbrella patterned paper from underneath so that I can use it on another layout. And again, I'm going to trim off the sides afterwards. Just adding some staples to those ripped areas. And you can see where I'm planning to put my cut file. So I'm just going to stick it flush to the background and just using some wet glue. So once it's stuck down, I'm going to add my letters on with foam pads. And there we have them all stuck in. So now I'm working out where I want to put those photos. So I think I'm just going to pop them overlapping at the bottom there where that G is. And I'm going to use this scrap of patterned paper from the Echo Park collection, the Welcome Spring, just to kind of create a little mat behind those photos. So I quite like that light blue colour and that coordinates with the G where they're going to be overlapping on the patterned on the layout. I'm just trimming them down and distressing the edges of my photos. So now I've got my photos in place. I've pulled out some of these white cardstock like floral fern kind of pieces that are from that Build a Wreath cut file. So I've just cut them out small and I'm just going to add them in and around the cut file, the spring cut file, to add a bit of a different texture, and I kind of like the whiteness of the snowdrops and I wanted to make kind of create more white on the layout. I'm just going for a bit of a diagonal sort of pattern of embellishment on this layout, starting at the top left with that S, and then moving down across the cut file, kind of from top left to bottom right. And I'm just going through and having a look at the sticker sheet that I've got, and I want to add this scalloped sticker, and I'm just looking at where to put it. So I quite like how it has the kind of circular shape, so I do tuck it under that S, and then also under my photo on the bottom right corner. And again, with this happy spring sticker, I've added that to the top of the S, so it kind of follows along the curve. So I'm also adding in something from a different collection. So this is from the Simple Stories Bunnies and Blooms collection from last year. I pulled in some of the puffy stickers. I'm just adding a few bits from that. So this is an umbrella sticker that's come from the Echo Park collection, and I just want to pull in kind of an embellishment that ties in with that patterned paper that's just tucked underneath the red. Just kind of a little nod to that. So now I'm just going through and looking at my sticker sheets and what embellishments I've got, and I'm just going to add a few bits here and there. So I've pulled out some of these circular bee stickers, and I'm just adding them in on some foam pads just in and around those clusters that I've already created with the small like fern cut files that are from that Build an Easter Wreath cut file. I think it's from last year. So I've got this little sticker that says sweet day, and I'm just adding a doodle border to that white, and then I think I also add it to the red as well, just to kind of create a bit more definition between the layers. And next I've got this little ladybug sticker that I want to pop in. And once that's stuck down, I'm just going to go in and add in some little enamel dots here and there, just in the yellow, just tucked around. And final little flourish is some splattering of gold acrylic ink just across that diagonal again, tying in those areas of embellishment. So here is my completed layout. I've just added some journaling to that background. Thank you for joining me on YouTube today. Please check out the description below for links to the cut files used, and if you've enjoyed this video, please hit subscribe. Bye for now.